the unstable that is Haruhi and her own mental makes itself very apparent through the previous episode with having these opening portals and, and pockets in this world of her own basically anger monsters that flare up and grow and threaten to overtake everything. It's a very terrifying kind of sort of scenario. Pretty cool designs overall from them too. But being able to expose yourselves to some powers and abilities that others have while still having questions, I guess, in regards to the fullest extent, especially with others too. We do present some interesting stuff. The frustration of Haruhi definitely got presented throughout the episode too, and her own difficulties and feelings that she likely has to go through with wanting to maybe move on, maybe not, right? Maybe that's what I'm not knowing fully yet, right? Does she want to move on from the feelings and the thoughts she has of finding these things? Probably not, right? Like, you don't want to let go of the belief that these beings and the things that you've wished upon and wanted are real, but facing yourself with growing up with other sort of desires and development within your brain, you're going to kind of maybe come to terms with the fact that some of this isn't. So trying to balance between, you know, the potential logical thing to do and at the same time the feeling of excitement, the rush you get, the wanting to feel like there is that energy and thrill within this world that you did fear and had lost for the time that you did, and not wanting to revert back potentially to that. It makes it difficult for her to do that. So now also being faced with having to deal with Kyon and her own feelings that potentially are flaring through and for him, she's in a weird spot, right? There's a lot going on, especially, and that's why things have been popping up much more likely for everybody to have to deal with. So I do wonder how we get that under wraps. I do wonder where we really go with that. What happens? Maybe we don't, you know? Maybe we don't. But maybe we do. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe down to my feel free to stick around for the discussion on the comments of the series. Let's go on with episode 6.
宇宙人に作られた人造人間自称時をかける少女自称少年エスパー戦隊それぞれに自称が取れる証拠を律儀にも俺に見せつけてくれた三者三様の理由で3人は鈴宮春日を中心に活動しているようだ100光年譲ってそれはいいことにしてみてもさっぱりわからないことがあるなぜ俺なのだ宇宙人
The question on everyone's mind.
春日の周りをうようよするのは小泉曰く春日はそう望んだからだ
Right, so why am I here? What is my
で
attack?
は俺はなんだって俺はこんなけったいなことに巻き込まれているんだ
She's
俺は
looking for you.
100% 純正の謎の力など何もない普遍的な男子高校生だぞ
Why is she so full of life? Oh my god.
お前か春日なんてね知ったこと
For now.
谷口俺って普通の男子高校生だよな
あどうかな普通の男子生徒は教室で女を押し倒したりしねえだろしかも俺様的美的ランキング A マイナーの長田由紀と
俺は釈明した谷口が考えていると思われるストーリーは妄想無双完全フィクションである
No, I haven't.
は気の毒にも文芸部を根城にしてしまった春日の被害者であり彼女は困りあぐねた挙句俺に相談した長門は持病の貧血を起こして倒れとっさに
Alright, simple.
との衝突を防ごうとしたまさにその時侵入してきたのがお前
I was gonna say who you're trying to convince, but it's very clear who he's trying to convince.
やらないものであることよな
嘘つけ
Not buying it.
その嘘話を信じたとしてもあの誰とも接点を持ちたがらない長門由紀から相談を持ちかけられた時点でもうお前は
Right, and you got Haruhi to open up to you? Come on.
何より鈴宮の手下でもあるしなお前が普通の男子生徒ってんなら俺なんかミジンコなんて
Yeah, you can't even deny it at this point.
お前超能力を使えるか
That's a great question.
そうかお前はとうとう鈴宮の毒に侵されてしまいつつあるんだ
That's how it looks to them.
あんまり近づかないでくれ鈴宮が映る
Right.
この後掃除当番だし、この方が動きやすい。
そりゃ合理的だな。
ミクルちゃんの
Weird, you being reasonable.
バニー、メイドと来たからな。次は、次があるのかよ。
Yes, there is. Make a request.
それとも女王様がいいかしら。
All great choices.
それともちょっ
間の削ら。
You're seriously considering this.
と、退屈。
We gotta get some calls, dude. Oh, she's gonna destroy the world. Chris gonna get caught. It is there. Yeah. Digitally altered.
いえ、別に。
これなんです。
Why is that my name?
どうして私の名前がついてるの？
Ooh.
書いてるの？見せて見せて。
いやー、これはその、なんだ。
I wonder what it could be. Ooh.
ぽいです。
あ、さきなさん、ちょっと離れて。
いいですよ。ちょっとだけ。何やってんのあんたたち。
It wasn't me.
あんた、メイド萌えだったの？
なんのこった。
着替えるから。
好きにしたらいい。
着替えるって言ってるでしょ。
だから。
出て
なんだあいつ。
A change.
でも堂々と着
Yeah.
始めるくせに。
She's seeing you different.
やりたいことも取り立てて見当たらず。
Yeah, right. Nothing happens.
かも知らず。時の流れるままのモラトリアムな生活。当たり前の世界。平凡な日常。クラスメイトに殺されそうになったり、灰色の無人世界で暴れる化け物に出会ったりなんぞ、そうそうありゃしないだろうしな。そうさ。俺はこんな時間がずっと続けばいいと思う。
And it's funny how, like, all the unordinary things that he deals with is what she desires, and she's unaware of it.
何してんだ？
ハサミ、明日の図工できたの。
いいけどな、一言ぐらい声かけろよ。確信犯か。
起きろってんでしょうが。
Gray again.
ここどこだかわかる？
Did we link? Or is this on his own end?
ところにいて隣であんたが伸びてたのよ。どういうこと？どうして私たち学校なんかにいるの？
He's like, hold up, let me wake.
空間。
ちゃんと布団で寝てたはずなのに、なんでこんなところにいるわけ？それ
Did it overcome them while they were in
小
sleep?
泉を見なかったか？
いえ、どうして？
いや、なんとなくだが。
Yeah, I assumed he would be here.
とりあえず学校を出よう。どこかで誰かに会うかもしれない。
あんた、あんまり驚かないのね。
驚いてるさ。特にお前がここにいることにな。
It shouldn't be like this. Well, you finally get your one-on-one time. Not the most romantic place, but it's something.
敷地に沿ってぐるりと続いてるな。
ここから出られないってこと？
怖いなら椅子を腕にすがりついてくれよ。そっちの方が気分
It would help me a little bit. Power still works, nice.
通じてないみたい。今日見て。
The monsters out
ど
there.
こなの？ここ。
Oh.
気味が悪い。どうなってんのよ。なんな
So
のよ。
weird to see her
わ
like
から
this.
ない。ここはどこで、なぜ私はこんな場所に来てるの？おまけにどうしてあんたと二人だけなのよ。
知るものか。
探検してくる。
Oh,
あんたは
go.
ここにいて。
No.
すぐ戻るから。
Why are we? No. Is she in the outfit
こういうとこ
behind
ろ
there?
は春日らしい。
Or is it just hanging up? Uh-oh. Here he is. What's up, dude?
やあ、どうも。
遅かったな。もうちょっとまともな姿で登場す
I
る。
was waiting for her to leave.
それも込みでお話しすることがあります。正直に言いましょう。これは異常事態です。
Yeah, doesn't seem good.
普通の閉鎖空間なら僕は難なく侵入できます。しかし、今回はこんな不完全な形態で、しかも仲間の力を借りてやっとなんです。それも長くは持たないでしょう。我々に宿った能力が今にも消えようとしているんです。
どう
いいね
ここにいるのは春日と俺だけなのか。
その通り、我々の恐れていたことがついに始まってしまったわけです。 とうとう鈴宮さんは現実世界に愛想を尽かして新しい世界を創造することに決めたようです。つまり世界崩壊の
Okay.
鈴宮さんが慈悲深ければこのまま何事もなく存続する可能性もありますが、次の瞬間には無に帰する可能性もあり得ます。ただの閉鎖空間じゃない。鈴宮さんが構築した新しい時空なんです。
And choosing to have you here.
その予行演習だったのかもしれませんね。そちらの世界は今までの世界より鈴宮さんの望むものに近づくでしょう。彼女が何を望んでいるのか知りようがありませんが、さあどうなるんでしょうね。
俺がここにいるのはどういうわけだ。
本当にお分かりでないんですか？
Why am I the
あなた
chosen
は
one?
鈴宮さんに選ばれたんですよ。こちらの世界から唯一鈴宮さんが共にいたいと思ったのがあなた
You're the only one she wanted in the new
と
world.
思いましたが
Think about it a little bit. think she might fucks with you, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
こんな灰色の世界で俺は春日と二人で暮らさないといかんのか。
アダムとイブ
That don't sound too bad.
夢は増やせでいいじゃないですか。
殴るぞお前。
冗談です。まあそっちに僕が生まれるようなことがあればよろしくしてやってください。
俺たちはもうそっちに戻れないのか。
鈴宮さんが望めば、あるいは
So we have to do something drastic here.
朝日奈に来るからは謝っておいてほしいと言われました。ごめんなさい、私のせいですと。長門駅からはパソコンの電源を入れるようにと。それでは。
She'll leave some hidden documents in there. A step-by-step guide on how to escape. She's gonna come back and be like, why the fuck are you on the computer? Oh, we got wiped. He's in it.
見えてるとも。
You got this, bro.
何をだよ。長門。
He has been summoned. Look how happy she is. Wow.
それか古代人類が開発した超兵器が現代に蘇ったとか。ちょっと何？
Things are just getting good.
あれさ、襲ってくると思う？私には邪悪なもんだとは思えないんだけど。
わからん。
There you go. Hold her hand and run around while she gets to observe the beautiful sights she has created.
行かないだろう。腹が減っても飯食う場所なんかなさそうだし。
不思議なんだけど、なんとかなりそうな気がするのよ。どうしてだ
The two of us.
今ちょっと楽しいな。
SOS 団はどうするんだ。
Yeah,
お前
fuck
が
it.
作った団体だろ。
Mainly a spot for you
い
too.
いのよもう。
Yeah, look at the world.
とっても面白そうな体験をしてるんだし、もう不思議なことを探す必要もない。
Bro's missing it. He's missing
俺は
it.
戻りたい。
Oh no.
俺は連中ともう一度会いたい。まだ話すことがいっぱい残ってる気がするんだ。
会えるわよきっと。この世界だっていつまでも闇に包まれてるわけじゃない。明日になったら太陽だって。
Yeah, I'm sure I'll raise that. Bring him back. I got you.
そうじゃない。この世界のことじゃないんだ。元の世界のあいつらに俺は会いたいんだよ。
Yeah, I don't want them in this one. So we have to do something to assure that we'll be good to go back.
てたんじゃないの？もっと面白いことが起きてほしいと思ってたんじゃないの？
Not the club. Oh, there's multiple. Oh shit, I didn't even notice that.
俺はここ数日でかなり面白い目に遭ってたんだ。
Not you, but
お前
me.
は知らないだろうけど、世界はお前を中心に動いていたと言ってもいい。 お前が知らないだけで世界は確実に面白い方向に進んでいたんだよ。鈴宮春日の存在を俺はどう認識しているのか。春日は春日であって春日じゃない
Nothing more than
当
that.
時でごまかすつもりはないが決定的な回答を俺は持ち合わせてなどいない。そうだろう。教室の後ろにいるクラスメイトを指してそいつはお前にとって何なのかと問われて何と答えりゃいいんだ。いやすまん、これもごまかしたな。
How do you simplify the words for that?
白雪姫って知ってます？
Must awaken her. Do it, brother. This is what I thought.
実はポニーテール萌えなんだ。
何？
I don't know.
いつだったかのお前のポニーテールは反則的なまでに似合っていたぞ。
Flatter her first. Cinema. That's what I was thinking earlier. When I was like, we need an action to wake her and convince her to come back. That's how you fucking do it. That's so fun.
夏夢見ちまったんだ。フロイト先生も爆笑だっぜ。未だかつてないリアルな夢。
How do you act now when you see it?
よって想像された新世界なのか。だったとして俺にそんなことを確かめる術はあるのか。
Awesome. Awesome. She's so cute.
元気か？
元気じゃないわね。昨日悪夢を見
Nightmare, right? Why you got your hair like that, then?
たほど休もうと思った日もないわね。
そうかい。ある日
Tell her.
何？
似合ってるぞ。
Awesome. She got the biggest grin internally. Probably a lot. Probably everyone around us. You got this. Aw. Aw.
あ、そうだ、朝比奈さん。胸のここのとこに星型のほくろがありますよね。
Hold on, let me check. Someone had to point it out, right?
何やってんのあんたたち。
How happy she
メイ
is.
ド服もそろそろ飽きたでしょ。さあ着替えの時間よ。
What did you get her?
暴れないの？
We got a nurse. Let me step out.
この度ようやく設立申請の
Now everything's back to normal.
世界を大いに盛り上げるための鈴宮春日の段では却下確実
Yeah,
な
yeah.
ので生徒社会を応援する世界づくりのための奉仕団体と改名した。
It's still a mouthful.
朝比奈さんも長友小泉も休養で欠席になり、俺は一人春日を待っている。俺は終
That's how it should be.
1時間前にやってきた。遅刻の有無に関わらず最後にやってきたものは罰金という定めがあるからだ。後でゆっくり聞いてやろう。春日のおごりの喫茶店で。その際には俺はいろいろなことを話してやりたいと思う。
And even present some of them, though.
方針について、朝比奈さんへのコスプレ衣装の希望などなど。しかしまあ結局のところ最初に話すことは決まっているのだ。そう、まず宇宙人と未来人と超能力者について話してやろうと俺は思っている。
Perfect. What an absolute banger. Awesome, awesome, awesome episode. I'm assuming that's the simply through OP placement and wrap up in the way he's speaking and stuff. My guess would be that's the end of the arc that we're going through, but also where the season ended had I watched it in the other order that people had desired. Some people had desired, but I think that I would assume that's the climactic spot that you really would like things to come to in ends. But I don't mind it at this point at all. And I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great. I didn't feel I needed any other things for me to get what's going on and to feel and be impacted in any way for the buildup of it. Now, that remains to be seen how it's going to influence and affect other episodes and things that lead up towards it. But I personally don't believe that like 8 other episodes would be necessary for me to feel the levels of excitement and everything that I needed to feel throughout this episode. So I personally don't mind it at all. I thought it was great though. I thought it was awesome. It capitalized on everything that was introduced from the previous episodes and I keep slapping my mic. Everything that happened from the previous episodes and the new like areas and stuff that she's kind of essentially creating, and how her shifts and moods and her feelings are almost developing in a way for Kyun and all of this stuff. It's great. It was obvious from like the point of entry almost that there's one of those massive scenarios that you need to do something to wake somebody up. Presenting it in the way of a dream state is similar to like a lot of other series will do things where you need to do something within a dream. Like if you are within a dream, you need to like reach a checkpoint or do something to reawaken yourself, almost to release yourself from the state and the position that you're in. And that's exactly what we needed. So it was obvious from the beginning points, the only way to convince her in a way from steering in a direction that we are going to solely create something is to use our context clues on how we want to reawaken and do what we need to get ourselves back to this world. So he handles it perfectly, even in his moment of panic of not fully understanding where to go, when recognizing where we are headed and what to do, display exactly the way that I feel about all this stuff. I want to go back. I like these things, laying it out for her to understand that this is what I desire and this is what I want. But at the same time, I need to give you something that allows you to reawaken and be content with going back to this place that you've been so bored of for as long as you have. So that being, providing her compliments on her own appearance and the way that you feel, providing a kiss, all these other things reawakens her. And I thought it was so excellently done and so cinematic. Of course, having the giant monster chase you and run in the background where they're both just standing there, like just making out with each other in the middle of it. It was sweet. I thought it was great, and I really liked it. And I'm loving the general dynamic of their relationship, not having I don't know how to exactly word it, I guess. Not having like, they have like really good chemistry, but at the same time, not having like these overly just moments on screen together where you look at them and you're like, they're so cute together or something, right? Like they don't necessarily have that, but there's this tension in the air almost kind of there. Kyun not wanting to recognize fully what it is, and Haruhi getting like angry at every sort of scenario due to her general nature. But seeing that there is that thing, there is something that's growing and progressing, especially from the beginning, between the two of them, that they're not ordinary, right? They're an odd pairing to begin with. So having that, which is explained fully by the monsters and everything else that we have to go through, the espers, the aliens and stuff, right? It fully explains that to begin with, that they aren't normal and their pairing together isn't normal. So having it be done in this sort of scenario and having them like it just works. It works. And it's one of those things that doesn't need build up of character moments and things of them together, because the general hangout moments, the general clear signs of anger and jealousy of her not being able to be with him, of him taking note of her and every action and things that she kind of does, like these are all signals in a way, right? You can show affection, you can show feelings, you can show any of these sort of things through other sort of actions. You don't need to. It's why some people who can't voice their opinions show it with physical actions. It's why some people who can't physically do things due to fear or being uncomfortable or whatever it is, make it known with words. Or some people will, they'll write something, or they'll make a gesture, they'll give you a gift, they'll create something, they'll do whatever. These things are that make you feel content and comfortable to show that side of you and those sort of feelings. And it's those things that they're able to pick up on each other, and we as viewers are able to pick up from the outside, that make that relationship so much more. It's the general feeling almost I feel like you get in a lot of series where you'll like ship two characters together, maybe intentional or not through the author and in the way that things are being written, but they don't have to necessarily display those feelings or explain those feelings directly to each other. It's one of those things you just watch and you see the chemistry, you see how obvious it can become. So when moments like that happen and you have to climax and get to spots like this, you don't need more buildup than there was. It just makes sense that this is where we were and what happened. They just followed the order it needed to. And I thought it was really sweet. I thought it was excellent. I love the ending it in the two different spots. One of being able to compliment her putting her hair up in a way after talking about how awful of a dream and everything she had, of course, right? And him complimenting and coming fully through on that. To also end and be like, I'm excited now to go talk to her about all these things that I know she's excited about. Really cute. Direction this episode was really fucking cool. The only sequence I didn't like is the text conversation through the computer. I don't like when we just flash text on screen and you have to read. I've never liked it in any show, and I still don't like it now, even when it's done in this one. Not a fan of it, never have been. It's one of those things, it'd be better in a English thing. Like if I had dub or something, I wouldn't have to worry because they're just speaking. But because I have to read, it's too much for me to take in. I don't like when we do scenes like that. So I guess from a standpoint on who created it, the intended and targeted audience wasn't me. So it doesn't affect it. But I personally just don't like sequences like that because of it. A lot of these different gray, black and white sort of moments that we do with the different boxes being created and going in and out of them and creating so much more of them throughout to display a lot of different stuff was really fucking cool. First time we really get to see his sister. She was in one of the previous episodes, but getting her here, she seems very cute, and I hope that she's involved a little bit more. I just love seeing the dynamic of characters having like really little siblings who are like overly energetic compared to their normal like sluggish sort of self, and having to deal with it I think are really fun. Normal yap session to start off the day. I love him trying to convince himself that he's just a normal dude. Why does he have to be put in this position and go through all of this, and then being directly confronted with the fact that he's just lying about this and you're anything but that. So much more advanced, so much more past that. And she just still can't find anything for herself. Him looking through here, it's really funny. Getting caught. She's just looking for something, and it's just the entire episode is anger being built up, boredom being built up, just any sort of emotion that's anything but positive for her getting built to the point that when you go to sleep, you have to reawaken in this state. And it's fun. It's figuring out where we are, being terrified and scared of it naturally, to the point that then when you see something and she's like realizing here, holy shit, this is really adventurous. You see her running in the hall, the smile on her face. The moment these big enemies start appearing in a way, she's like, holy shit, and smiling with the most massive face you've ever, or most massive mouth you've ever seen. Just fully visually, they're able to display her, explain her as a person, which I think is great. And I love him just kind of teasing us in a way of being like, you really don't understand? Like, I have to walk you through all of this? You really, really don't understand any of it? And they kind of lay it on. Don't really need to explain really what's happening here. Makes plenty of sense and what he needed to do and where he needed to go from here. Gets little hints and help directly through everybody. Yuki being able to be utilized and helped here. And then, of course, later having the full picture and help come from Mikuru with the reference of Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and everything and what they need to do to wake them up, which is great. I love it not being a overly like in-depth, you need to know this weird part of the story for it to make sense in a way. I don't like those, and I explained that before when they presented this could be a thing. So I like it being like a very simple, well kind of known thing, at least that I understand. And it works out. Her immediate like mood shift though, like I said, like look, the massive mouth, the smile, everything. And she's thrilled. She's getting dragged along by him while getting to see these beautiful sights, the things that really get her going. And he figures out what he needs to do, expresses everything, all the positives and the good things that he wants to go back to, so that she's fully aware of that. And then the cherry on top of it all, to be able to convince her and wake her up that this is exactly what we want and what we need. Absolutely awesome. Cute little moment and compliment mixed in there. And look what she decided to do with herself. And I'm happy he decided to compliment her when he sees her like this too. Fun talking about everything afterwards. Get the nice little moment again with her and figuring out about the star shape and stuff that was brought up, the references from directly before, and a cute little date for the two of them to go on. Awesome. Absolutely great. I loved it. Very thrilled about it. And I'm so excited to see what more we have within the series. I believe that's the first full arc. I don't know if there's any else in the first, like, what season would be, I guess, of episodes, or if these are all just like kind of at random now until we get into, I think there's like one or two that might be in the next part. So we'll have to see. They all might be like kind of one-offs and not really build on each other here. But I'm very, very excited to see what happens. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. If you want to, feel free to check out the channel and content of the series. I'll be back for the 7th episode very soon. It was a great one though. Peace.